Arthur Joseph Meeks here. We got us a load of actress meanest bunch of cutthroats ever walked on 2 feet.
Here, tell us of them. Come through Mobile a while back, quite a stir. Then wasn't they beginning help over at Fort Migden in Pensacola?
That's strange, I thought. Papa had never mentioned anything about Apaches before. But then again, he wouldn't talk about them unless they had something to do with food or clothing.
Yeah, I've been guarding them at Fort Pickens every sticky hot day since they got here in October of 1886.
A few months shy of 2 years, they're going back where they come from.
The government ain't never letting them go back to the Southwest. Not in this life. We've taken them to Mount Vernon, about 30 miles north of Mobile, just waiting for the word that the southbound tracks are clear. Next week, I'm out of this man's army. And I'm going back to Ohio and not coming south of Mason-Dixon line again this side of judgment. Amen.
A civilian stepped out of the 5th coach, dressed much like the Apaches. He had on a plain white shirt, a vest, brown trousers, and knee-high boots. Although he wasn't an Indian, he wasn't like the other white men. I was surprised when the soldiers addressed him as Mr. Ratton, because he looked to be no more than 21 years old. And when Mr. Ratton snapped it on, the troops moved swiftly and unlocked and opened the coach. Through the open window, I heard Mr. Ratton speak to one of the Indians, in what I supposed was Apache. Then he spoke again in English.
Come on, Geronimo.
The face of the woman across Geronimo was written with concern. She jumped to her feet, saying something to Mr. Ratton. Could I make out? It sounded like a question. A boy sitting next to Geronimo seemed to be worried to Mr. Ratton, answered in a calm and respectful voice.
Nothing is going to happen to Geronimo. Lozen, we're moving him to the front coach, that's all.
So Lozen was her name. I thought the fact that she stood up to defend Geronimo when none of the other women did made me concerned. There was something special about Lozen. I searched my head for the right word to describe her, and I set out on strong. Strong like Mama, determined. 4 armed guards came to take Geronimo on a short walk from the 3rd to the 1st coach. 1 man in the front, 2 on each side, and 1 in the back. They're surrounded by soldiers. Geronimo showed no signs of suspicion or no fear of his captors. Nobody had to tell me he was a person the soldier had a reason to fear. He didn't seem to frighten me. Lieutenant Geronimo were very much like the slaves Papa had told me about. The ones who showed no fear of the white masses. The ones the masses call crazy. When they fought back, or when they couldn't break their spirit, I got a good look at the old warrior as he came down the steps of the hut. His head rested squarely on his shoulders, same way Papa held him. There was a cinching in his walk and a straightness in his back. Reminded me very much of Papa, yet the 2 men looked nothing like. Geronimo was right at 6 feet, slowly built muscular, unlike Papa, who was splinter thin, much taller, more leggy, yet strong too in his own way. Buster yelping grew louder. The soldiers seemed to bother him.
Shut that dog up, Raw.
One of the corporals leading Geronimo was ready to hit my dog with a butt on his shotgun. I gasped and drew back. Papa moved quickly, putting his body between us and the soldier.
That'll do, Jameson, at ease.
Just then, Geronimo turned his head slowly and made a small gesture with his hands. Buster stopped barking instantly and sat calmly beside me. His tail flipped side to side.
Did you see that? I believe what they say. Geronimo does have magic powers.
Got nothing to do with magic. He's got a way with animals. My wife got that gift. It's called kindness. It works better than beating up on a poor animal.
I was more interested in what they said about Geronimo. Did he really have magic powers? I looked back to take one last look at him, but that's when, over the soldiers, I saw the boy who had been sitting next to Geronimo leap through an open window and roll into the darkness. He never made a sound. It happened so fast, I wonder if I'd really seen him. Meeks, Jameson, Ratton, and 20 other soldiers were 30 feet away from him. Yet, they hadn't seen or heard a thing. It was as though the boy was invisible, magically invisible. But no, I had seen him.